Initial jobless claims move a little bit, 215,000. It was 201 last week in the revised numbers. And here come the income and spending numbers. Income up 1%. Significantly higher than anticipated. It was a 0.4 gain anticipated by economists. Personal spending comes in as anticipated, up 0.2. Now the numbers everybody's been waiting for. The winners are PCE deflator up 0.3 as forecast. The PCE deflator year over year up 2.4%, which is basically just math. That's no surprise. The core comes in as forecast, double last month at 0.4, and the core deflator is up 2.8%, which is going to be a little bit of good news. That was what was forecast, but there was some fear that it would get pushed up to 2.9%, same as last month. And I can tell you the core for last month was revised down to 0.1 from 0.2. So it does look like at this point we're seeing a little bit less of the bad inflation news that we saw in the CPI, but we'll have to take it apart to get the full data.
I mean, the numbers are what they are. And, to me, what's important is that disposable incomes net of transfers are moving up and to the right, and that very much mitigates the risk of recession.
We do have a winner. I have the numbers on personal income now, so give Neil his stuffed bear. He hit the nail on the head. Dividend income up 4.1% in January. It had fallen 0.2% in December, so a big swing there. Wages and salaries up 0.4. That's a little bit lower than the 0.5 in December. And also transfer payments up 2.6%. So I finished second in this.
I want a stuffed bull, Mike. You know me better than a stuffed bear.
No bears, stuffed bull.
Neil wins as well. Neil, consensus wins this morning, kind of, with the exception of personal income. You wrote a note earlier this week, consensus needs to wake up. Now, let's push aside this one. Why do you think consensus needs to wake up? What on specifically?
Well, I think, in my view, what's happening is, number one, I think the consensus continues to revise up growth. Now, people are doing that. If you look at Blue Chip, the Bloomberg News consensus, I think GDP expectations have been moving up over the last number of months, which makes sense because the data has generally been better. But I do think that there's still a lot of currency in the long and variable lag idea. So when you look at people kind of mark to market the first quarter. Okay, that's going to be strong, but there's still a big slowdown expected in the next quarter. So there's this idea that any day now it's just going to kick in and there's going to be this weakness. And I just think there's only so long you can keep doing that. And that's why I think the consensus has been sort of perpetually surprised to the upside. We are seeing a upturn in cyclical manufacturing, for example. So I do think it's unlikely that growth is going to slow down meaningfully between now and the second quarter. But I think what the consensus has lost a little sight of is inflation. Yes, January was a setback, I think. But, to me, the overall story is still the same, which is we have a period of disinflation in front of us. When I look at things like the employment cost index and the quits rate, the inflationary impulse from the labor markets are fading. And we also know that productivity is picking up. So unit labor costs have come under some control. And so to me, that kind of sets the table for the direction of inflation. So, January was a bad month, but, talk to me in the spring. I wouldn't be surprised to see things like March, April core inflation come in weaker than expected.